Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Revlin coming to you from Chicago. As usual, I get back from the gym. I find out that Kim Gardner has resigned. It's on my feed. Everyone's sending it to me. So I'm like, I don't really have much to add other than I think we need to process it as a group because I'm going to get a lot of messages about this. This is so we can just have like a group meeting about it. First of all, let's give credit where credit's due. I think we can all credit my my crazy rant on this topic. No. In all seriousness, this is a good thing. It's a good thing, and it's to her credit that she resigned. It's to her credit. I will give her that. We'll discuss some of the ramifications, what's going to happen with contempt, what's going to happen with the trial, what's going to happen with all that stuff. The answer is I don't know, but I do have thoughts. I have thoughts. So let's do what I've done all along here and poach News 5's coverage. News 5, like I'm familiar, News 5 in in St. Louis, a channel I've never watched. but they're doing fine work on this. Thank you, Channel 5. Let's take a look at it. That's where I get the announcement from.
Breaking off the top at 4, breaking news out of St. Louis. Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner has announced she is resigning from office. A very good evening to you. I'm Brent Solomon.
And I'm Kay Quinn. The announcement came just moments ago. Her resignation is effective June 1st. 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers is live outside the Carnahan Courthouse in downtown St. Louis. Christine, what can you tell us?
That's right, Kay. It is official. She will be resigning as of June 1st. She just had a meeting with her staff within the last 20 minutes. I spoke to several people that were in that meeting. I was told that she started that meeting with a moment of silence for her assistant prosecutor who was killed tragically in a car accident last night. She then tried to remain upbeat.
Okay, that's just weird. I didn't mean to get into this. You guys dragged me into this. But that is just weird and tragic, just horrible. A young prosecutor dies. I don't know the circumstances of it. But in a traffic accident, that's as much as I know. But that, I don't know. Kind of gives me Hillary Clinton vibes, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. So there's all these developing things that are happening with this case. First, we had the resignation of the assistant. I can't remember his name. the assistant prosecutor that had all the attitude with the judge at the hearing. That guy had a horrible attitude and said incredibly stupid things. But I'll say this for him: he showed up to the hearing, unlike Kim Gardner. Anyway. Moving back, that was wild, and everybody was sending me that this prosecutor had died in that office. They have so many resignations. I'm getting so many people sending me videos about this situation. I get it. We have the same exact situation in Chicago. It's horrible. I don't know what to do. And you know what? I don't pay attention to it because it's way too depressing. But I would say similar scenarios in probably every large metropolitan area in this country for the same damn reasons.
Announced she didn't want the city to lose its right to elect its prosecutor. And then she ended that meeting by sending her email to the governor and hitting send. Now, she's been under fire for months. Back in February, the Attorney General filed a quo warranto petition against her to remove her from office, accusing her of willfully neglecting her duties. The screws tightened, so to speak, on that effort yesterday when it was revealed that she has been taking classes at St. Louis University's School of Nursing while she should be on the clock working as a prosecutor.
That was just bizarre. I threw that clip in a stream. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of streams in the last day or two when it came out. When I found out she's going to nursing school, it's so weird. It's such a stupid thing to do. But it took me back because generally speaking, nursing is noble profession. That's a lovely thing. There's nothing wrong with studying nursing per se. We need nurses. That's wonderful in and of itself. But it's not appropriate for somebody who's an elected prosecutor in a metropolitan area that apparently has a huge backlog and can't get cases, don't have enough prosecutors to handle the cases. Well, then it's really inappropriate. Contextually, for the vast majority of people, if you said, "Hey, I'm studying nursing," you'd say that's a good thing. And it's a good thing for her now. After June 1st, go ahead, go become a nurse. Because apparently you're not good at being an attorney. So, yeah, nursing school is a full-time job. My mother was a nurse. My sister's a nurse. I know lots of nurses. It's, it's something you got to focus on. And it's not all book stuff. You got to do like practical. That's just insanity. I don't know what's going through her head. Having said that, I'm taking a lot of the heat off from my end because she did the right thing and resigned. She did the right thing for the people of St. Louis. She did. I'll give her credit.
There's also been an exodus from her office. At this point, there are only 19 attorneys left in that office. Attorneys are citing toxic work environment, unbearable work conditions, and unbearable caseloads. Now, there are several questions that remain. This news, again, very fresh. This does nothing about the contempt hearing she is facing, about the contempt charges she is facing for her and her assistant not showing up in court. So we still don't know what this means for that. Another question we have is...
It means that all the sting is taken out of it. I'll answer that question for you. News 5. Here's the interview that you want, but you didn't get. Well, we're doing it on Let's Talk with Mike. What that means is all of the momentum is taken out of it. Now the contempt is going to proceed. She was in contempt. She missed a trial and her staff didn't show up and she didn't show up and she didn't respond properly. But instead of really having a showdown and saying, are we going to go after her license or what sanctions are we going to recommend? You say what you resign from your office effectively over that. Or as part of that picture, that's the major punishment. How about a $500 fine, and so the contempt will be on your record, so you don't do knuckleheaded stuff like that again. But it should resolve most of the issues. I mean, how much more are you going to do to somebody at that point? So I would think the contempt would proceed and resolve without much more to it.
Who will replace her? Again, this resignation isn't effective until June 1st. She also sent out about a 2-page statement on her reasons for resigning. I can read you just a few of those excerpts now. Where she basically said she cannot afford and she does not want to put the city's risk for electing their own prosecutor. And that's a reference to the bills that are pending in Jefferson City to remove her and appoint a special prosecutor to handle cases in the city of St. Louis.
I don't know what that just doesn't make sense. I mean, I give it to her. She's on the street. She's collecting information, but that last sentence didn't parse. I don't know if it's because Kim Gardner's not making sense or something's lost in translation, but let's carry on.
Lewis. Okay, Brent.
All right, thank you. Christine Byers reporting live from the Carnahan Courthouse. You will hear much more from her coming up.
That's just awful.
5 on Your Side at 5,
32
6,
years
and
old.
10. 5 on Your Side's political editor, Mark Maxwell, has been covering this story for the last several weeks and months. He joins us now with more analysis.
And Christine touched on it a little bit about who might replace Kim Gardner. Are you hearing anything?
Well, the circuit attorney mentioned in her 2-page letter that Governor Parson, according to Missouri state law, the governor would appoint her replacement. And that would also set off, this is basically an open seat that will have whoever is appointed to fill that would have the benefit of the incumbency, would likely seek re-election. We expect to hear some arguments in favor of continuity. This is a beleaguered office that has lost so much in the way of staff.
Continuity? What the hell are you talking about? You want to change. Okay. This is just this is the political infighting because apparently, you know, she's a Democrat and the governor's Republican. Whatever. Just appoint somebody competent. I don't care what their political party is.
Whoever they appoint, and we're told there's going to be a conversation between Governor Parson, Mayor Jones, other legislators from the St. Louis area. The governor has said he understands the sensitivity of an outsider, right? A Republican appointing someone in a Democratic majority city. So he's going to do his best to at least give lip service or the appearance of that public buy-in. But we also have sources close to this conversation who said,
yeah, I have serious doubts, given her personality, that she would be good to any profession, frankly. Nursing would be one of the worst for her. She displays a complete lack of empathy, which is necessary for that.
For example, the Senate Minority Leader, John Rizzo, was quoted in the Post-Dispatch today saying that he spoke with Kim Gardner about her resignation. So it appears that her fingerprints are on this plan too. Whatever plan this is, she was involved in making sure there'd be some continuity when she made this decision.
It was just over the weekend, though, that she said she would not resign.
And that's what makes this so stark. About 99% of that speech, as far as I could tell, we were the only TV camera in that church house in Michigan. Said, I won't leave, I won't step down, you're going to have to remove me. Maybe there was some grieving or some coping with all of that reality there, but there was a 1% of the speech that stood out to me. She said, whatever happens to me, remember this, stand up and fight. She was making a plea to democracy. And even in her 2-page letter here, she says, I recognize that as long as I stayed in this office, the attacks against me would continue. The office would not be able to continue. And at the very end, she put voters, democracy, and the functions of justice above her own political ambitions.
You know, there have been other proposals to merge the circuit attorney.
Oh my God. Did you hear that? Soft soaping going on? I'm trying to express my thoughts, but I'm filtering, and every one that comes up is well, it's not appropriate. That's how I feel about that last. Oh, she put the people of St. Louis ahead of her ambitions. Oh, give me a break. Who is this guy?
Attorney's Office and St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office. Are you hearing anything more about that? Because really, it appears to be what's needed is some immediate action to get these cases moving through the St. Louis court system.
We are looking for clarity. Best guess at this moment would be that would probably no longer be required. There's going to be a lot of political will behind whoever comes into this office next, starting on June 1st or 2nd. Whoever that person is, the state is going to be at their back to make sure this works. A lot of those former prosecutors who left the office may want to return. There's going to be sort of a reset moment here, a big moment for St. Louis to improve public safety and the operations of justice that secure convictions.
Mark, before you go, do you think there might have been a final straw here? Last night we reported that she is actually in nursing school right now, which is not illegal, but some people have said, how can you focus on your duties if you also have that responsibility?
That might have been more politically embarrassing for her reelection prospects, but I think the bigger hand was that the Judge Torbitsky said, we are going to trial. Scott Rosenblum, who represented Eric Greitens against Gardner years ago, said that was the one thing she didn't want to do, be deposed, go to trial. That was the thing that I think really escalated this, the final straw.
Political editor Mark Mack.
Well, yeah, she didn't want to go to trial, and she didn't want to get smoked. Which finally somebody might have, gathered the stones to tell her what was going to happen. Okay. I'm better.
Maxwell reporting.
5 on your side. We'll stay on top of this breaking story. Look for updates on air, online.
5 on your side. Shout out to 5 on your side. All right. Well, I just wanted to do that real quick. That's all I have. But everyone's going to send it to me, so I thought, why don't we just have a group discussion of it? Everybody sent me the stuff when the clip that I had yesterday too, where we found out she was in nursing school. Everybody today started sending me the thing about the prosecutor who died. That is just horrible. I don't put that upon her. Yeah, I mean, I would have no reason to think that, but it's just the whole thing is bad. The whole thing is bad. But I give her credit. I give her credit for stepping down. Somebody got to her that it would have been ugly, and she would have lost. You can't go and justify that we're not showing up to things, that half the office left. You gotta show me you don't have any money in the budget to pay the people. You say, oh well, we don't have. But I'll bet you the budget's bigger than it was a year ago, and it's government spending. It goes up. It's got adjustments on it. I mean, it sucks. No one's going to get rich being a prosecutor, but it's fantastic. It's fantastic experience. You know how many young attorneys out there are dying to get some real experience? That's how prosecutors' offices get things. That's how PD offices get staffed. Young attorneys, by and large, who need experience, and then of course you do keep some that go up through the ranks, and then they do that. But there's a big at the bottom, there's a big churn of people coming in and out, making no money, working 2 to 5 years to become good at their profession. Like get this like big bargain on young associates for the experience. It's a good exchange. A lot of damn good attorneys come out making absolutely no money. It's very similar to, doctors like being a resident or something, like except it's not as formalized. But you go somewhere, even in the private sector, you go somewhere and you just get worked to death for no money for a few years, and then you figure out what you're doing. And a lot of people do that in prosecutors' offices and public defenders' offices because it's a great way to get lots of experience. But yeah, I will bet you with all these people leaving, there is nothing but extra money sitting around on payroll that they should have been paying out to people to be prosecuting crimes. I bet they're not short of money at all. Well, I don't know. What do I know? Oh, there's always that. There's always that, and then there's prosecutors that there are a lot of prosecutors and judges that aren't your favorite or whatever. That's one thing, and then there is I'm not going to a jury trial right there, court. That's a different thing. That's explicit, and there's no arguing about it. There's no justifying that. And then doubling down afterwards and either not showing up or showing up with a horrible attitude to your show cause hearing. Congratulations to the AG. I don't even know. I saw him in an interview too, and he announced his name. The AG there. So the Attorney General in Missouri apparently went after her, and that's the pressure that really made this happen. Now that case should go nowhere. She resigned. The whole exercise there. I don't know what it was. I didn't read the pleadings, but it's going to be sort of some injunctive relief that she needs to be replaced because due to incompetence or something. There's going to be some theory like that, but they're not seeking money or anything else. So, yeah, that suit is effectively moot at this point. Yeah, they got what they wanted already. Oh, good Lord. All right. Well, that's it. I got drug into this all the way, but I figured we'd close it out. We'd circle up and close the loop here on the Kim Gardner situation. That's good. They'll appoint somebody. They'll hire a bunch more people. There'll be a lot of people trying to catch up, figuring out what the hell's going on with these cases that they didn't work up, but they'll get there. It's not rocket science. Yeah, if you have a few people left that can kind of tell you some things. I mean, there are just files all over the place that nobody knows anything about with the kind of exits they've had. But that's why I went to law school. You know what? Go in there, roll up your sleeves, sit down, pick up a file, and start reading it. And keep doing that for about 20 hours a day. And hire about 100 people to do that, and things will get caught up, in the next few months. That's what needs doing. That's it. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's what needs to happen. Prioritize. You know what? And nobody would look at them sideways if you started dismissing questionable stuff or lower end stuff and just saying we have to prioritize. Okay, some people are getting breaks they shouldn't for a few month period till we catch our stuff up. And also, whoever it is, they got to come in there. If you ask me, with not trying to disrupt everything, but they got to come in there with there's a new sheriff in town. We're not putting up with crime anymore. That's got to be the thought process. It's an important city. We don't want it imploding. I might want to go to Laclade's Landing and get myself a beer or something, okay? Clean it up down there, people. All right. That's all I've got. We did this. I got dragged into it a few days ago, but then I've been doing updates on it for the last few days, and I'm absolutely shocked that both of the people involved in the initial video I did resigned. That's what I thought they should do. I said it in that video. Just no one listens to me. I mean, I'm sure no one listened to me then either. Those are independent circumstances, but I'll be darned. The right thing happened. Hopefully they move on to greener pastures for the city of St. Louis. Hopefully you get somebody competent in there and you get your government back in order. And for her, maybe you learned a lesson. If this isn't something you want to do, and this clearly wasn't something she cared about, this is a big job and you didn't want to do it. If it's nursing, then do it. But put your heart into it and be a damn good nurse. Don't pull this crap, or they'll run you out of there too. Trust me. Look at that. I'm sure Kim Gardner's going to listen to my advice. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you soon.